All right, folks, we are live on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, and Twitch. We are just getting the Facebook going, and we'll be all set. Okay, we are live, folks, on Facebook, Rumble, Twitch, and Twitter. Welcome to today's episode of Sacred Lavisa podcast. Today, we will be covering the fact that Elaine Publowski has been nominated to the judge seat in the 22nd Circuit Court in St. Louis, Missouri. Regardless of the fact that she's never been held accountable for her coercion and whatnot that's been going on in the family court system there. So let's begin. Just do a little intro, and don't forget to subscribe to all our YouTube channels, and Facebook pages and everything else. Everything's in the description. So without further ado, let's and don't forget to check out the bonfire stores that we have. They're also in the description. If you support the work that we're doing, please show your support. You can get a coffee mug, a hat, a shirt, whatever. And let's begin. So welcome, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels and everything else. And I have some pre-recorded content we're going to play for you guys. And let me share my screen. And then, folks, we're going to play some of Angie's pretrial hearing that she had, what was it, last month? I believe May 2nd. So we're going to play some of that for our viewers so that you guys can get a little bit background on the case. And for those who haven't gotten vaguely familiar with it with our most recent updates, we did play some segments of that on a few other podcasts, but we're going to do it again for a minute until Angie's ready with her pre-recorded segment she's putting together for you guys. So let's begin.
It's downloading. 289. Domestic relations. questions had to do with quickest date I could get, what I would consider easy. That's fine, we're here for a pre-trial. I understand that you've had some communication with Mr. Crosby.
A little.
I'm going to have some questions for you now. These are concerning several issues that the court has to take up with you at this point. You expressed to the court at our last hearing that you wish to represent yourself.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to go over that with you, but I brought Mr. Crosby along. He's done this for me before. He's represented as a counsel. And I want to explain what that means.
Okay.
As a counsel means, he will not be making any argument for you. He will not be making any objection for you. The sole purpose is there for you during a trial to inquire of him any questions that you may have about what's required. If you think that you have an objection, you can always inquire. He can't address the court, but he can talk to you and provide you with what I would consider very much needed help in navigating through the intricacies of doing a trial. Okay? And I'm going to allow you, if you want to be able to speak to him privately, that's perfectly fine. I would want to know, though, whether or not, after you've spoken to him, that this is something that you, and he'll explain what his role would be for you. But I just want to talk to you and get your final decision on what you want to do. We set this trial for August 2nd.
August? I thought it was June.
No, that date didn't work for the
okay, it's been changed? Okay.
I've got back-to-back trials that can do it, but it doesn't work for them.
I just wasn't aware, that's fine.
Yeah. So August 2nd and 3rd is the quickest date I could give us.
Okay.
Now, there's a whole litany of questions I have for you about representing yourself, and I want you to pay close attention. None of these questions are meant to embarrass you. None of these questions are meant to impugn your knowledge and or your ability. But you have to be aware, in a jury trial, the state has charged you with a Class D felony, which a range of punishments 2 to 7 years in Missouri Department of Corrections. Or it could be a year in the county jail and a fine up to $10,000. And that's why it becomes important in a case like this for you to understand that if you're going to represent yourself, I don't know if you had any experience in trial work or in legal work, but this starts with the venire panel of 48 people that you'll be selecting a jury from. And there are certain questions that'll be asked. The state will go first, and then you'll have an opportunity to talk to the potential jurors. There's going to be 12 that will be selected and 1 alternate, so there'll be 13 total. And these questions have to do with their ability to be fair and impartial. But there's certain parameters that you have that are required that some areas you can't go into. And it's difficult for me to say, well, you can't say that, but I will have to do that if you're getting into an area of say, for instance, did you serve on a jury? Well, what was the verdict? You can't ask that kind of question. You can't do that. What you're trying to do is to find out if anybody, first of all, has any knowledge in this case, that kind of thing. And it's an important part of the process of selecting a jury, that you be able to ask those questions that will satisfy you that you're able to pick the 12 jurors that you, out of 48. Now what will happen, there's going to be strikes possibly for cause. That means somebody's answered something that they can't be fair and impartial. That's an example. That's not unique. That's an example. If someone says that they can't be fair and impartial, well, then after the selection, after you've asked your questions and Joshua's asked his questions, you come up here and then you have 6 strikes for those that you do not desire to have one. But first, before we get to your 6 strikes and he gets to his, because you're both going to do this at the same time and not together. You are going to, I'm going to raise questions about those for cause. And you're going to have a chart in front of you that you can number these people. They're going to be 1 through 6, 7 through 12. And we're going to go across like that. So you got your 1 through 12, and then you got your 13 through 24. That's how we do that. When you're asking a question, they have to stand and give their number. The court reporter will be sitting out here somewhere, close, so that she can hear their responses, because she has to take everything down. The selection process will take, in the process can take anything from a couple hours to an indeterminate amount of time. But if it gets to such time we have to continue this, I'll probably call time on. So I never have to do that, but again, when you have someone representing themselves, it becomes very difficult for them to understand the process. And it can become frustrating for you. You have to understand that. Now, once the jury is selected, there's opening statements. The state has to make an opening statement. You don't have to make an opening statement. You can make one after he gives his. You can wait till your case in chief, but you don't have to give an opening statement. Do you understand that?
Yes.
There's instructions that I'll be giving to the jury all throughout this whole process. Even before you start asking questions, I'll be giving some instructions to them. And I'll be talking to them, letting them know what this is about, what is expected of them, and what we're going to do here today. Now, after the opening statement, if you want to reserve yours or you don't want to make one, that's entirely up to you. Then we go to the state's going to present its case, and they're going to call their witnesses. And this is called, from the bottom, this is called direct examination. Now, if you think that he's asking a question or something that's irrelevant, or hearsay, or someone's testifying in the narrative or something like that, you can make an objection. But it has to be a legal objection. It can't be, well, I don't like that question or something like that. You can't do that. Then after he has directed his witness, then you have a chance to cross-examine their witness. But again, those questions are within parameters. And they have to be relevant to that. Then Mr. Publowski makes an objection. I'm going to rule. My ruling for an objection would be sustained or overruled. And then if you have witnesses to call, after he's rested his case, he'll present his case. At that time, the jury will go out. And it's at that time you can make a motion for a directed verdict or your trial saying that he hasn't presented the evidence this way. After that, the jury will be back in, and you'll begin your case. And your witnesses you can put up on the stand. If you desire to testify, you'll be able to sit here and testify. I give a little leeway to that than what normally I would do for that if you'd like to represent yourself. What that means is you can testify in the narrative to a certain extent. And then you can explain what it is that you want to explain. But it can't be something that you're going to ramble on forever. can't let that happen. So you want to think this out, if this is something that you wish to do. Then Mr. Publowski gets to cross-examine you. He's going to ask his questions that are inherent to his cases. Then after that, after your witnesses and you testify, and you've shown your exhibits or whatever evidence that you have, because you're going to have to know how to introduce evidence in the trial. It's very difficult, because you're familiar with it. And there's a system on how it has to be done. And I'm a stickler for the rules on these kind of things because I have to have fairness to each party on how this is done. That's why I'm going to now talk to you about, well, first of all, our pretrial motions here today are for any motions you file. And we'll get to that in a minute. But I'm going to talk to you about representing yourself. Now, you've heard the adage, and the adage is the person who represents himself as a fool for a client. I'm not calling you a fool. I'm just laying down the guidelines that you have to overcome if you want to produce your case here. And it can be very difficult. This is a very difficult thing because this is not something that you're used to and that you're really knowledgeable about. I don't think it is. Now, you know that you have an opportunity to select a jury, is that correct?
Yes.
You know, there's certain rules about selecting a jury.
Yes.
I don't know if you're familiar with those rules. It may be a good thing for you to get a book or something to read up on what is necessary there. But it has to be done correctly. And it's a very difficult thing. Because you're going to ultimately be putting your fate in the hands of 12 jurors and an alternate. The alternate does not vote, but remains with the jury until the jury goes back to deliberate. You have to know that there are rules for direct or cross-examination. And there are objections. I don't think you are familiar with all the objections that can be raised. I'm trying to avoid having you get frustrated when that happens because I can't offer you the legal advice. That's why I thought Sam would be someone that you want to talk to at least while he's here.
All right, folks. I think we're just gonna we're gonna share with you the actual video. I think it's ready. So let's do that real quick. We're gonna do it straight from Canva. Here we go. And then if you guys would like, I would like you both you and Liz to kind of give our viewers kind of like do some feedback back and forth on this after it's done here, whenever it decides to finish loading up. Come on now.
It's like this every time, isn't it?
Yeah. How long does it usually take? Because I mean, hey, Liz.
Hey, Steven. I just got
It's
done
not
working.
working?
It's
I've
just
been
still.
out.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. We got it.
But what I don't understand, Ms. Frainer, is, and you're not the only parent I tell this to, and you're not the only parent who's felt the way you felt. But, you know, if you could have these Zoom calls with your
Because
daughter.
I didn't do anything wrong. If I take
know,
your Zoom
I
call,
know.
no, listen. If I take your Zoom calls, it's like saying I did something wrong, or
not.
that what they did was right. What they did was not right. What they did was take my daughter against her will and traffic her across the country against my wishes and hers. after she disclosed sexual abuse. So if I agree to that, then I'm just saying everything that the courts have done is okay, and then they have more control over me. And right now, they have no control over me. And I'm not giving them back that
Right now, you're
power.
not connecting with your daughter.
No kidding. And that's because of the court.
No, right now I'm giving you the opportunity.
No, the
to
court.
have some visits with
The
her, and
court
you're
has
refusing
taken
it.
my rights, took my rights away from me, and took my kid and trafficked her across the country. You're giving me an opportunity to have more control over me and to have something to say about what I do or when I do it. I should freely be able to call my daughter whenever I want.
I don't want counsel.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah, because there's really no charge. I have no accuser. There's just certain things that isn't happening to have an issue for the court to even consider. If there's not, who's accusing me of anything?
State.
Well, then I get to cross-examine the state. So who's going to represent the state to do that? Who do I cross-examine?
So the state puts on witnesses. You cross-examine the witnesses.
Okay, but they have no first-hand knowledge of the facts. So
Right.
how does that go on the record?
So part of it is hearsay, right? They're probably going to have to put judges
It's
up
all
front
going to be
on the stand.
and the likely of them doing that.
Well, I think they will.
Okay,
Yeah,
well that's good because I'd like to cross-examine her.
right. But that's how it goes. And so one thing you just brought up is that's an objection. It's hearsay, right?
Right,
So they have to put on a witness who does have first-hand knowledge.
which would be her.
Right. And so I think in order to do this case, they're going to have to put Judge Zellweger on the stand.
Okay.
Okay. Obviously, you want to be careful, right? Not to say anything threatening or
But I've never have. That's just
right.
the thing,
or
you know.
misconstrued as right.
Well,
I read your email, and you don't expressly say anything.
I have not seen her talk to my daughter since that day she took her. And it was on an unlawful TOR that was unverified. It wasn't even a legal order that has taken my kid where she's ended up in a facility for child trafficking, who's got a suit against them for child trafficking, which I haven't seen my kid in a year. I had her every day, and
I've practiced family law, and I know there's a lot of pain there.
well, it's not the pain, it's the crookedness of it all, that what they're doing. It was not lawful, the order. I've proved it in family court. He couldn't verify his signature on the document, don't even remember signing any affidavit for the TOR.
Right.
On the record, it was unlawful. My kid was kidnapped, and they're trying to lock me up for it.
All right. Would you like to give our viewers a little background on that clip that you just presented for us, Angie, so they know what's going on?
Okay, so the first
And
clip.
Before you come on camera too for our viewers, so they can see who they're talking to. Thank you.
Can you see me? So that first clip was the GAL and I on a phone call, and she's trying to give me like supervised visits with my daughter for like an hour, like every other week or something, every week. I don't know exactly. So that's the first call, and I'm explaining to her that I don't understand why I'm not allowed to call my daughter, and she's not giving me any reason, and trying to downplay and have me pretty much accept what they did was okay with her taking her and everything, because they take her and now I get punished with supervised visits. And by taking them, I'm saying that that's okay, that I've done something wrong, you know, and that's what I'm trying to explain to her, which they still kept her, you know, like I lost my custody of her. Her dad got sole custody. And then the next conversation is me with the standby counsel that they're trying to attach to me, that they're trying to make me have. And that's him and I discussing my case.
Okay.
And him telling me that they're going to put the judge on because he knows I know they have to either put her on the stand or drop the charges. At this point, he's figured that out anyway.
Right. Well, that should be interesting then, huh? August 2nd. We'll see what they do, what play they make.
Yeah. We'll see what happens between now and then because, you know, they change stuff up so much.
I know. How
They
many
like
times have they changed the trial dates so far? Like 4?
2, 3,
2 or 3?
yeah,
Something
something
like
like
that.
that. Yeah. The family trial took like 4 months to have. Like it started in November and it didn't finish until what? April? No,
Yeah, about April. Yeah, it was
was
April.
it April?
Yeah. I think it was
Yeah.
April 15th.
Yeah, and that trial started in November. The first trial was in November. So I mean, look how long they, you know, spread that thing out.
Right.
So and this thing's been going on for a year. You know, there's no such thing as a fast and speedy trial.
Nope, not anymore.
No, it doesn't exist when they don't have charges.
How many PAs did they go through, prosecuting attorneys, before they finally got the one they got now? Wasn't it like 5 or 6?
Well, there was 3 in the beginning, like on the case, I don't know, that were showing up for the bond hearings. And then after the grand jury indictment, it became just this one young kid.
That's interesting. What does
Yeah.
that tell you? They know they have no case. Nobody's willing to do it. No PA, no prosecuting attorneys. That's why they went through so many. At least that's my take on it.
Yeah, but okay, do you find it strange? Like, okay, so you played the first clip of the judge,
Yeah.
like trying to teach me, school me, like talk to me like I'm stupid. And then they're like trying to teach me like how to do court. Like, why do they care if I know how court is?
Well, they're supposed to cover their ass. Say, are you sure you know? You're aware of of what you're doing, yada yada yada, and that's more to cover their ass than it is to worry about what you're doing. It's so they cover their bases so that you can't come back and say it was not a fair trial.
Yeah, but they're going beyond, you know.
Yeah, they are.
Like, it's one thing, just, you know.
But anybody that has 2 brain cells can see what they're doing. Would
Yeah.
would you like to continue playing that for our viewers?
We can.
Yeah, let's play a little bit more of it, and then I think we should I want to touch base and get into that thing going on with Elaine Publowski.
Yeah, she's been nominated for judge.
Cool, and we'll talk about that for a good segment after we play a little bit more of this. I just want to give people a little bit more background, at least until you go in and start talking to your lawyer. And how far is that, do you think?
I don't know. I don't know where you stopped.
All right, well, we're at 14 minutes and 24 seconds.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right, we'll just resume playing it because it's where we left off.
To see what this is something that you may understand his role, he can help you with. Presenting evidence has to be done very precisely, laying a foundation. You have to know how to do that. And if you haven't done that, it's very likely that your evidence may not get into the court, for the court to admit it. You can offer it, but if it's not done properly, there'll be an objection to that. And that presents a problem. That means that you would have some type of evidence that you may want to go back to the jury. Understand that if you have demonstrative evidence, that doesn't go back to the jury for anybody. Nobody gets to do that. So any evidence that you have to present has to be done correctly. I can't make special allowances on something like that because that would be taken up on appeal and might be overturned. I'm sitting there allowing somebody to do something that the other side doesn't get to do. You have to understand that you can be convicted. And and a sentence can be imposed. You have to understand that. I have no idea what the evidence in this case is. I have absolutely none. I've never provided it. I won't know anything about this case till it's tried. I know what the charge is, and that's absolutely all I know. And I make it a point not to know anything more than what that is. I want to be fair and impartial to everybody too. But you're putting yourself at great risk by representing yourself. You have to understand. And I think you're starting behind.
I just want to point out for our viewers that, did you hear what he said? He said to her, you're putting yourself at great risk by representing yourself. And that's one of the fear tactics they try to use to prevent you from representing yourself. But your people are perfectly capable. And at this point, with how corrupt systems become, they need to start representing themselves. But this is one of the tactics they try and use to dissuade people from doing so.
That's exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to intimidate me.
Say that one more time, Dottie.
That's exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to intimidate me.
Exactly.
So I'll take his counsel because he wants me to take that lawyer that's sitting next to me. He wants him to handle me. He's just a handler. They just want to handle me through the case the way they want to handle it, without no noise, just get it done.
Exactly.
And I'm not taking his counsel, and he's getting mad.
I noticed that. Let's resume it for our viewers.
Legal training by doing this yourself. I urge you not to. I urge you to get an attorney. I'm happy to give you this time between now and then to get an attorney to argue your motions on your behalf. Because they would be, I would assume, more well represented. Your motions would be. The court could take that consideration. Because I just can't sit here and say, well, I'll make these allowances for you because you're not represented. I can give you deference when you're testifying. I can do that. But I just can't simply say, I can give you, well, we'll just forget about that and I'll let you go ahead and do that anyway. I can't do that. Not because I don't want to, because I can't. I have to follow the rules of evidence, and there are many of them. And it'd be tough. And even good attorneys have problems sometimes trying to get their evidence into to be admitted. Or counter an objection. Even good attorneys can falter with that. Sam was someone that I had asked for counsel for an individual that I spent 5.5 hours with on the stand on 2 successive days, making a determination for him not only to represent himself, but his motions as well. And his motions I denied, they were not well taken. However, after Sam was on counsel, he had a change of heart and he hired Sam. And we had a trial about 3 weeks ago. That trial. And Sam, for the most part, won all of it. Because he knew what he was doing. So I'm asking you, and I'm urging you, really, take into consideration. You don't have to hire Sam. I mean, you certainly have an opportunity. If I have to appoint a public defender, I'll do that. But I think the least that I think that you would do, Ms. Ryder, is have a counsel. And if it's not Sam, somebody else that you know or maybe trust or have faith in. But I'm strongly urging you not to represent yourself. I'll allow you to do that, Ms. Ryder. But I'm giving you a very strong warning about it. This could have disastrous consequences.
Ooh, he's giving you a strong warning.
Yeah.
You have to know that. I don't have any way of sugarcoating that. You're putting your life in the hands of 12 people. The possibility of prison time, possibility of jail time. Could be probation, maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know what the jury's going to do. I don't know what the evidence is. I don't know who the witnesses are. You're entitled to have your witnesses. They have to be disclosed to judge. Any exculpatory or any evidence that you have that you're going to present at trial has to be disclosed to him. He has disclosed all his information to you. All the evidence that he's going to be presenting has to be disclosed to you. You have to request it. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. I would prefer you being able to talk to Sam before you want to raise a motion.
Okay.
All right? That may be something you would like to suggest
Okay.
and discuss it. It's all privilege. He'll say nothing to me about any of this. Just between you two. Nobody else. Even if of counsel, you still have that privilege. It's your decision. I leave the ultimate decision up to you.
Okay.
Right? Now, before you do that, and I'm going to give you a minute here to go out and do that.
Okay.
Do you have questions of the court?
No.
Are you sure?
Not at this time.
If you do, I'm happy to entertain them.
Not at this time. I do not.
Okay, all right. Let me also go further into it. August 2nd and 3rd, I expect all parties here, whatever the courtroom, I don't know what our courtroom is going to be, whatever it is, I want everybody here at 8:20.
Okay.
That way we can assure any motions, there'll be motions in limine. We'll talk to him about all of this. Motions in limine will be presented at that time for me to, I'll agree with them, I'll deny them, or I'll hold them until trial. Those are the three things I do with the motion. He'll explain that to you if you want him to.
Okay.
All right, he'll explain all the rest of this to you if you want him to. And I really strongly urge you to talk to him.
Okay.
All right. But this time, I'm going to allow you to stand. There's a conference room back here. If you want to go ahead and go and speak to him.
Okay.
I'll wait for you to come up.
Thank you.
Turn that off. Do you want my purse? I need a pen. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to share with our viewers pictures of what the judge looks like and also what the assistant standby counsel looks like.
So you notice the judge tells me a whole bunch of times how much I can lose, right? But he never stops to say that I could be innocent though either, so that was his strong arm, like tactics of fear.
And what's this judge's name?
Judge Fargus.
Judge Fargus, huh?
He's out of St. Charles. He's a St. Charles judge.
Okay. Let's do the other guy, your standby counsel. And here we go. This is Samuel Crosby. Samuel Crosby.
Or whatever.
Okay.
Is he related to Franny Crosby?
Who knows? Who knows? So,
but they want to give me the standby counsel, or as he said that he could give me like a public defender,
or kind of like how he was like, well, you can waive a jury trial and get a judge trial.
Yeah, he offered that too. At no time did he ever offer me to be able to get my own counsel. to sit with me in trial. So that's kind of funny. If I can have counsel with me, can I not pick my own counsel? I mean, I don't think you
Right.
have to be an attorney to be able to be someone's counsel.
So, why don't you come on camera and give our viewers an update on with the whole Elaine Publowski situation? What's going on with that a little bit in more depth?
Okay. So she's been nominated with 2 other nominees for the circuit position in the 22nd Circuit in St. Louis City. And then today, me and Brian and Stacy Williams went out to bring some awareness to the community. And shockingly enough, like almost everybody we talked to already knew about it. So people in the community are hearing us. So that's really nice
That's
to know.
good. That's good news. That's encouraging. That means we're doing our job and getting the people awareness out there. People are paying attention.
Yeah, quite a few people knew about it already. I was shocked, you know, so they're listening. So we just need to keep getting louder and keep pushing,
Exactly.
which is good. But she may end up as judge. I don't know. St. Louis City is like the only part of the state that I haven't heard of any stories like this out of. So, you know, and if she does get in the city and they continue this child trafficking ring, if that's what this is all about, they're going to target, you know, the poor first. Because they're going to get
That's
that
who they
government
always
funding.
target.
So they're going to go into St. Louis and just swipe all the kids real quick. You know, just hit the lower
Yeah,
income. There's a lot of lower
we
income
can't allow
families
this to
in the
happen.
state.
This has gone too far, folks.
So what they'll do is they'll just come into St. Louis City, swipe all the kids, and then collect on government funding.
They're gonna look if somebody that they think is low income actually behind their scenes has money to boot that they're not keeping in their funds or whatever, like in the bank or anything.
Right.
Really gonna be screwed then.
Yeah.
And that's what I would encourage people to start doing. Don't keep money in their bank. Keep it somewhere else.
Or at least have some sort of asset backed something,
Right.
like
Yeah.
invest in
See,
silver. Silver is the good one.
right. But if it's in the bank, don't keep it in the bank because that's where the problem lies.
Well, it's
Because
not
they
going to
like
be,
to try to
Exactly.
it's not going to, what they're going to do, they're not going to take our fund. It's going to be government funding.
Yeah, they're getting the grant money, but I think she's just saying in general
Mm.
with everything, with the way everything is right now.
Yeah, so we are trying to make awareness in St. Louis City today to let people know to call their governor, call Governor Mike Parson, and tell him that, you know, she can't be put in position of a judge. She doesn't deserve it.
Hey, I'm not in St. Louis, Missouri, but if you give me the phone number, Angie, I'll call them.
It's on that one, yeah, it's on a flyer. I think my Facebook page, I put it up.
Okay,
But
I
yeah,
don't think I
definitely, I'll
have your
forward it to
Facebook
you.
page. Yeah, forward it to me because I don't think I have your page.
Okay. Yeah, so, but that was fun. We got to go around town. I got to meet Stacy Williams for the first time. We talked about all the stuff in Washington and how that turned out, and that was pretty positive.
That's great. That's awesome. I didn't know you hadn't met her yet.
No, I hadn't met her.
Yeah, I met her at the rally for the first time.
Yeah, yeah. There was quite a few people, she said, so.
So, what else has Elaine Podolsky been complicit in as far as in the past with regarding this this whole CPS court corruption thing? I'd like to know.
Well, she's in several laws, or been in several lawsuits. She's in the leaked Zoom call of the GALs colluding
Okay.
together. You know, she's just right in the middle of all of the cash for kids. She's had more lawsuits than anybody else. Like they've, you know, have gone after her with the lawsuits.
Mhm.
Like none of the people in my case, involved in my case, I don't think any suits have been filed against them. I
Hey,
haven't
Steve,
filed, but I
another
don't know
good
if
way
anybody
to,
else.
you know, how you were just saying about silver, Stephen.
Yeah.
Another good one is look for black sand. And Florida is a good spot for that.
For what?
for gold. Look for black sand, and if you find black sand, you're gonna find gold.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Gold goes for 1.9 an ounce.
Oh yeah, no, if you can find it, that's great. But investing in it,
Florida's a
silver is
good
a much
shape.
better investment long term, I think, for the immediate right now, because it's not only because it's precious metal, but because also it's used in manufacturing and like high end electronics and other stuff like that. So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. I mean that is too, but gold's really good too. Like down here in
gold
Florida,
is
like you can find a lot of it because there's a lot of like
if you can find it,
Florida's
that's
all
great,
sand.
man. But if you got to
See,
invest in
Florida's all
something to get
sand.
something
So
back, like it's your best bet. I think, in my opinion, is going to be silver, especially for the average person is going to be able to afford silver. It'll be a good
I
investment
mean,
in
there was
case
a
shit hits the
person
fan.
that yeah, there was a person that found like 5 pounds of gold in a matter of just an hour or two.
Shit.
Like it
I've
didn't
been, I've
take
been
them
going to
long,
get my,
man.
my metal detector and start scouring the
Oh
beach.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that's where they're finding them along the beach. If you find black sand, that's your spot for gold, most likely. But don't tell anybody where your gold spot is then.
Right, right. So what else is so what were we talking? What were we gonna I was gonna ask you a question. I totally had a brain fart. I had a complete brain fart, you guys. Oh my god, I can't even remember what I was gonna ask.
We were talking about Elaine.
Oh yeah. What stuff from Twitter are we talking about?
Uh, the indictments and things.
I don't remember where those
St.
links
Louis.
are. You must have sent them to me a while back.
Mm. St. Louis just had a lot of indictments come down.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, didn't you send it to me recently? You could send the link again so I
I
can
don't have
go
the
to,
link.
Okay.
No, that's why I was asking. Because that's kind of crazy. It's all going to tie in with the court system and all this.
Let me look real quick. It's on Twitter, you said, right?
Yeah, it will all tie in.
How do you spell her name?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Elaine's name.
Oh, Elaine. Hold on.
What should I type in for the what?
PUD something. I always have to check it.
Oh, it's in the description. Hold on.
But we had a lot of people step down and stuff in St. Louis City.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
think I
there's
remember
all
you
these
telling me about
indictments.
you sent me a link on those indictments. I seen something about it a while back. Wasn't it like a couple weeks ago?
Yeah. Um,
Do you remember where you sent it to me on? I can't remember.
oh, Elaine is currently a defendant in a federal civil rights violation case right now that includes fraud and corruption.
Oh, there you go. So why is she being nominated judge? That don't make
Yeah, I
no
don't
sense.
know. She's been in the middle of all of it. But that tells us a little bit about our governor. If he puts her in, why we
Right.
can't get him to help, because he's been, people have reached out to him, sent him letters and different things, I know, and nobody has done anything. Like I said, all these people are still working with the families in Missouri or in St. Louis County.
Yeah, there's been no accountability held at all whatsoever.
None for any of them. Like both of my GALs were on that Zoom call. And
Wow.
they call themselves Kids for Cash and laugh about it. That's crazy.
Well, I have to say, if it walks like a duck, acts like a duck, then it's probably a duck.
Yeah. Well, and the day that they put that video out is the day they took my daughter, and I get to ask the judge why she did all that.
Good. Somebody needs to. That's bullshit. What she did to you is wrong, and your daughter. That was so screwed up.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'll get to question her. So we'll see what else can come out with all this stuff. Who knows what happened
Exactly.
at that trial?
Right. Right. Liz, have you heard anything lately with the what's going on with the Megan Walsh situation?
No, I haven't, but I can message her again and see. I haven't
Yeah,
heard anything for a couple days. I've been so busy working too that
yeah. No, I hear you. I just was wondering if you had heard anything around, around the water cooler about that.
No, let me text her here and see.
Alrighty.
I'll do it while we're on, see if she says
Sounds
anything.
good.
She may be in bed. I don't know.
Yeah, might as well give it a shot for sure.
I mean, it can't hurt the message, right?
Right, exactly. So, you met Brian, and well, you met Brian before, I'm pretty sure, but you met Stacy Williams for the first time. That was interesting. So you guys were going and spreading awareness about that today. That's good. That's good. You were getting out there in the community, Dottie. I think that's great.
Yeah, and I'm
Oh,
really
that's
glad that
awesome.
I'm really glad that people were already aware of it, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
we just need to find the ones that are not aware of it and, you know, let them know. But
Right.
some of the people we talked to had actually wasn't personally a victim, but like their friend's son was. So like they knew somebody that had already been affected by this cabal of characters in the St. Louis County Courthouse. So, I mean, it's pretty evil. And a lot of people have been
Yeah,
touched by it.
definitely.
I wish I could come out there to your area, Angie, and I'd help you guys, but fortunately I can't. I got that big heart that I want to just go around and, get to everybody, but fortunately with my medical, I can't. Don't get me wrong, if
Right.
I wouldn't have the medical, I would love to do it and I would do it. But with like a heartbeat, like I love to travel, so to me it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
but you
it's
gotta
a
you
matter
gotta
of
take care of
seeing.
yourself. You can't really go nowhere with the condition you got right now. You know you're in.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm under doctor's orders, so I'm not even allowed to go out of the state of Florida.
I'm not allowed to leave Missouri either, so but for other reasons.
Yeah, well, because they're trying to freaking prosecute you unlawfully and unjustly. It's
Yeah,
the
I
same
can't
thing as
stand
if somebody's on pretrial. Basically, same thing. Can't leave the state. Like when I was on pretrial, I couldn't leave the state.
no.
But anyway, so yeah, that's quite fascinating what's going on with all that. I mean, I can't believe that they're taking it to this level, but they are. It's crazy how they're trying to go out of their way to silence you on baseless accusations.
Oh yeah. There's no facts upon the record. She's not given any statement. So, I mean, I don't even know how they could take it this far.
Right. I mean, it's unheard of.
Yeah, I filed, and you heard him say that we wouldn't look at any of the motions until the day of trial,
Right. I did
which
hear that.
I don't like that for some reason. That don't sit well with me.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't with me. It's kind of like hinky, but. But I think what he was. I mean, why would they not do? Like, I mean, does that mean that if you file, they're not going to do it till the day of?
Yeah, so he was saying anything that I would file, that we would take care of that the day of trial. And then he went on and on about how to pick a jury. He wanted to make sure I knew how to pick the jury.
Okay, interesting.
Because we'll pick the jury the day of trial, apparently. I've never been to trial, so I don't know how it works. I don't know if
Right.
that's normal or if that's not, normal.
Right. Right.
And he's a visiting judge, so we have no clue what room it's going to be in.
Oh, of course, of course.
So I have no idea where it's going to be. And then again, I'm not on the docket. So, and I
What
know
the
this
hell?
because of the way when they changed the room, they
Mhm.
had a big piece of paper up on the docket, like taped over the docket, with my case number telling me the room changed. Like
Oh,
the
jeez.
courtroom. Right, because I'm
Hey,
not on the
Angie,
docket. Huh.
Dan knows a lot about like laws and stuff, and he said that for a jury trial, it's supposed to be done prior to the day of trial. So it should already be done prior to the day of trial. It should not be
Oh,
done the day of trial.
interesting.
Jury
Interesting.
picked, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I was under that impression, but
Yeah, they don't sound right to me either.
yeah,
What
because
he's
that's
I
a
saying.
just
long
wanted to
process.
verify that with him because I know him and I both worked in law, and I didn't remember that they could pick that the day of. So I just asked Dan because he's on the other phone here, and he said no, it's to be done prior to the day of trial as well. So
I wonder
I
how,
was
I'll have to
thinking
look up
correctly.
that statute.
Yeah, look that up and find out because that just sounds hella hinky in and of itself that they would say that. Now I get the
Yeah,
part
they're
about
leaving
him not
everything.
wanting to know the facts of the case until the day of the trial when he reviews it. But if he's saying that he's not, that nothing's going to be filed until the day of trial, that doesn't make any sense. You know how
No,
long it
I
takes
can
to file
file,
anything?
not gonna hear it. I can file, they're just not gonna hear anything till
Okay,
the day
okay,
of
I got you.
trial.
But
Still
still,
don't make sense to me. Why are we
it-
filing, why
right?
are we not handling this?
Shit,
I
fucking
don't, I don't,
bastards.
I don't know. Like I said, I've never been to trial, so I have no idea.
Yeah,
But that's a good thing to know. Like, I'm not on the docket. So when you're not on the docket, it's usually these hidden cases that they don't want the public to know about.
right.
Like they're like ghost cases, like they don't really exist because you never went on the docket and they never made it public.
Right. It's almost like they're doing it off the record. It seems like.
It becomes more of a
Well, if you're
persecution.
not, yeah, if you're not on the docket, that's an illegal case right there and then.
That's what I've never been on the docket from the beginning of my family case all the way through.
There you go.
Nothing's
There's
been
a
on the
problem.
docket.
Then they know it's illegal right from the get-go. There's your key indicator. They know it's illegal, and that's why they aren't putting you on the docket because they know what they're
Exactly.
doing is false.
Yeah,
Same way
exactly.
for
They
us.
were gonna
That's the way it's
traffic my
been for
child.
us. It's kind of epical.
They knew they were gonna traffic her. They knew they were taking her. They knew.
Exactly. They knew that from the get-go, and that's the same way it's been for us. Like we don't have no docket number. We don't have no case number. We don't have no docket
I'll be right back,
information.
you guys. I'm
Like,
gonna step away just for a second.
anybody who's supposed to be there, nothing, which is illegal from the get of everything.
You don't have
And
a
they know
docket.
it.
You're not on the docket.
No,
Huh.
we don't even know if we have any docket numbers. They've never given that to us. Case numbers, nothing.
Oh, I don't.
And
I
we've
have
been
case
asking, and they won't give it to us. They state that they can't give that to the parents until after the entire proceeding, which that isn't the reality of the truth. If the parents ask for their records or minutes or court summaries, they are required to give them, but they're
Well, should they
refusing to
already
give
be in
them. And
the?
then when we go into the courthouse, they state that when we go into the part that, would have that kind of thing, they said, we don't have nothing in file about your family. Wonder why.
And they never give you anything. You don't even have like a case number.
Nope.
That's weird. Were you always the last one to be seen in the courtroom, like when you would go to court?
So far, yes.
Yeah, I've always been the last one in the courtroom.
See,
Never on
that's
the
another
docket.
sign that it's an illegal case. That's another
Yeah.
sign of that. Mhm.
Never on the docket. Always made sure there's
Yep.
like nobody in the courtroom.
Yep, same here. But see, the problem is with ours is not in the courtroom. Ours is in the CYS building, right in the agency. And I have the text messages and all to prove that it's in the agency.
See, we don't. CPS was never
And I
really
can-
involved in my case.
I can send you that too, Angie, if you want me to.
Okay. Yeah. See, like CPS has never really been involved in our case.
Right.
And neither has any like doctors. Like we didn't go to counseling. We didn't, nobody got sent to a therapist or anything like that. So how
They're
they made
trying to
this,
say that we're court ordered to do parent classes and psychological evaluations, but we've never had a court order for none of that. Why? Because they know that what they've done is wrong, and they know that we're perfectly fine parents. It's just like they try to say that we didn't know how to parent and discipline our children. Well, it's kind of epical because the one day that Lexi wasn't misbehaving in the visitation, I corrected her and she refused to listen again. And I said, well, if you don't listen, then you're going to sit on your timeout chair right there on that sofa. And the caseworker just kind of stunned and stopped and just kind of looked at me like, what, with mouth drop. I said, oh yeah, you say I don't know how to correct my children, right? We don't know how to parent our children. We don't know how to discipline. Oh, so then what else do you call that? And then she's like, oh, well, I guess I can't say you don't know how to discipline your children because you just did very well. And she knew she had to listen to you right away. And she did. I said, yeah, oh yeah, exactly. My daughter knows. She's not stupid. I said, she knows if she don't listen, she knows it's time out, whether she wants it or she don't, it's timeout time. She was dumbfounded. She didn't know what to say. I said, so now you got to put that on file that we do know how to discipline our children. She didn't have an answer and walked out.
well, they're just stealing kids.
Oh yeah, they're doing that all day long and they don't care. That's the thing. They don't care because they're narcissists and they have no empathy.
This is true.
Oh, they hate it when we'll walk right up to them and say, "Oh, there's the narcissistic people, and the ones that don't have a heart, and a lot of times the ones that don't even have children and try to rule somebody else's life." Oh, they get so mad at us, but we're just blunt open about it. We straight out tell them in court, "No, you're kidnapping, and you're using this money, kids, for cash. That's all it is." And we've already had them say, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah.
They admit right to it. Like, really?
The
Like, that's,
standby counsel.
you would think that they would know that them saying, "Yeah, we know," would be, that would give them out. Like, we got them recording saying this and all. Like, we got the judge recording, twisting our words. Like, it's kind of epical how it's been.
Yeah, the standby counsel, when I was talking to him, and I got him to say that the family court system was completely crooked. Like, they all know, especially here in this
Of course they
system,
know. They all know. Irregardless where they're at, they all know it. But they just want, a lot of times they want to try to rig around it. But there is ways you can say stuff that eventually they just end up admitting it, whether they wanted to or not.
Who, the council?
Anybody with the
Anybody?
courts, like, depending what you say, you can get it out of them. It's just depends on how you say it.
That's
Well,
the
with
kind
Dan
of
and I
stuff they
working in
do.
law, Dan and I working in law, we learned how to ask questions, slickly enough to know how to get stuff out of them. And that's another reason they don't like us, because our FBI, we had to have FBI background checks, and we got 100% on an FBI background check. So of course they're hating us for that one.
So, Angie, what can people do to help put a stop to this nonsense, this witch hunt that they got out for you? What do we need them to do on August 2nd?
I needed them to show up at the courthouse for this press release. I need people to come and tell their stories and, what's happened to them. And I need people to come sit in on my trial.
It's basically court watchers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But, because they tend to act a little better when people are watching. And I'm curious to find out if they're going to star chamber me.
Right. And we need to prevent that.
They normally like to do that, like act so good when there's other people around, and it's not just you, because they know that other people now are catching them too if they do something just a little off the books. And they caught us too. We're scared. What if they do something? What if they turn us in? What are they going to do? What's next? What's going to happen? What are we going to be placed upon?
They haven't worried about that here. They have just been blatant. Like,
yeah, it seems like it's really bad in St. Louis and then also Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, Pennsylvania's bad too. Like, that's the way it is here. In Pennsylvania, they don't care. Now, I can't really say that about Florida, because the governor down here, he's pretty strict. Like, if you get a hold of him and he finds us out, they go down underwater.
I wonder what he has to say about the whole Megan Walsh situation.
I don't know. I asked her if she contacted him. She said she's half scared too. I said, well, maybe. I asked her, I told her, well, I suggested, well, maybe you should try. And I gave her, and then she asked for his number. Do you have his number? I gave her the governor's number here.
Mm-hmm.
And she said she'll see what she can do. She's pretty busy, like the next week with I think she said 3 visitations in the week.
Okay.
So I'm not sure which day the visitations were, and they were 2 hours long. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. And this is when was this? The other day?
This is probably about, let me check. Hold on.
Last
I'll
week
check to
sometime?
make sure I get the date right on that.
Okay.
So let's see, this is what, Sunday, and that was Wednesday.
Okay.
So if that gives you any insight.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's good. Yeah, because last Sunday we did the segment when what happened on the 3rd. So.
Yeah, I know it was since that. Yeah, she didn't respond tonight. I have a feeling she's in bed. She hasn't been active for 2 hours, so she's
probably passed out.
in bed.
It's probably been a long night, long day, long week for her.
Yeah, I know she was at church this morning. She said she was at church this morning. So I texted her. That was around like 12:30 this morning. Asked her how she done. She said good. She was at church.
Okay.
This morning, but you know, she's got a busy week with visitations and stuff, and I don't want to hold her from her visitations. 'Cause,
Right,
I mean,
right.
2 hours, a lot of times they'll only give you once or twice a week for an hour.
I
So she's
know.
privileged. She is privileged to have 3 times a week for 2 hours each
That's
time.
not privileged.
It's still
Well,
unjust,
it's
unjust, of
still a
course.
good, yeah. But I
But
mean, it's still
he
good that
says
she gets the X amount
relative
of
to other
time.
people, what other people
No,
maybe.
that's
Yeah.
not privilege for nobody. See,
I
and
mean, at
that's how they
least she
trick
gets
you to
6
think
hours. I
that they're
mean,
doing
she,
you a favor. That's
But they're
trickery.
not doing you a favor.
That's
They're taking your
gaslighting
right.
you.
kids.
That's
Exactly. Yeah.
gaslighting you. They're not doing her a favor. They're not doing shit for her. They came in and took her fucking kid and then want her to be like she did something wrong and be reduced down to these visitations, whatever, while they're watching over her shoulder.
Right.
Well, who the hell are they?
Right.
That ain't
Right.
no. That ain't
They're a
no.
I mean,
racketeering scheme, is what they are.
yeah, exactly. I mean, first and foremost, under your protected parental rights, no government agency has the right to come in and infringe against your family unless it's direly, direly needed. And it has to be an extreme emergency, is what it says on the.
Right. And they're using false pretenses and false accusations to take kids
And
that,
they're also
and they're not
taking,
even physical abuse.
yeah,
They're mental, like shit that you can't really prove.
exactly. And here's the other thing, like, I know in our case they said abuse and neglect. Okay, but what kind of abuse? Was it physical? Was it sexual? Was it emotional? Was it mental? And they don't know. They
And
have
a lot
no
of the
answer
time they'll
for
put
it.
on their alleged
Yes,
abuse.
and that is what's on ours. Yes, alleged abuse and neglect. Um, and then they said, oh, well, we can't find anything about, neglect. So we have alleged abuse. Okay, prove it, and that's what
Right.
we've been working with them on ever since November 18 at our first court proceeding, where we told them, prove it. If you're going to say there's alleged abuse, prove it. We want to see the pictures of the abuse that you saw on our girls. Because guess what? There was no marks on our girls. Then like, oh,
You
well,
wanna
they
you
had
wanna come on
severe
camera,
diaper
Liz, so our
rash.
viewers can see who they're talking to just for a minute?
Yeah,
Thank you.
got it. Not real bright here, but yeah.
No, it's fine.
But then they were like, oh, well, they had severe butt rashes. My girls get that nonstop. My girls are known for their rashes. We've tried to get Dr. Cream and all, and the best thing that we found is the triple paste.
Well, my niece has eczema herself, so I already know. I already know that's like, and then
Yeah,
she just got diagnosed with a shit
yeah,
ton of allergies.
yeah. And so like they want to come after us for that. When at that point, because Lexi had just gotten out of Virginia foster care and got back with us, I mean, she was horrible. I mean, horrible when we got her back with diaper rash. And so, we were working at that point to try to cut the rash down. And it was, I mean, it was still, I mean, you could still see it on her, and that's who they were complaining about. But
Mm,
there's nothing we could do about that. That was Child Protective Services in Virginia that we were still working to, take down the rash. I mean, when we
right.
got her, it was, I mean, they left her come home in a sopping wet diaper, pooped up diaper. Like she
That's
was already
horrible.
potty trained, and she would come to me on visitations. Mommy, I gotta go potty. Well, yeah, because she's potty trained. What else do you expect from a child? And even with Adams County, Pennsylvania, she's potty trained, right? They're putting pull-ups
Right.
and diapers on her that don't fit her, too tight, that are scrunching her. She comes to me, Mommy, do you have my correct clothes? Because these hurt me.
Oh wow.
And I've even told the foster mother, multiple times, you will not ever again bring my daughters in here in the way they're dressed. For instance, it was snowing out, right? My youngest one only had a short sleeve onesie on,
Mm,
and
oh
it's
wow.
snowing. And I think it was around like 15 degrees, 15, 20 degrees. You don't bring my child to a visit dressed like that. That's not even safe. She could get deadly sick. She was only 3 months old. Like, you don't do that. And I scolded her. And ever since that, she don't want to bring my girls to the visit. The foster caseworker goes and picks them up and brings them and then goes and drops them off. Ever since I called her out that day on that. And I was harsh with her. Like, I told her straight out, these aren't your kids and you're not going to do it. And
Right.
if you do it again, there's going to be consequences, for you bringing my children to visits with unsafe clothes.
Right.
Like I told her straight out, my oldest one just complained about her having such tight clothes, such tight diapers on. I said, first and foremost, she's potty trained. Take her to the potty when she's got to go. You don't put
Right.
diapers on her and just, expect her to want to
Because they're
wear that all the
lazy.
time.
They're lazy.
Yeah, like, and then the guy that she's with, his last name is Thompson, and thanks to Crystal and us doing a background, found that he's in the Megan's Law, and he's being looked for.
He's what?
He's got a warrant, and he's being looked for, and
Interesting.
he's on the Megan's Law. He's a
Oh,
predator.
wow. Wow.
And then my almost 3-year-old and my almost a year old now on July 4th is in that home. The problem is they're not even licensed. Whether she is, I don't know. But still, like, even if she's licensed, he just moved in there since our girls were there. So furthermore, he should have to be licensed and have his
Right.
stuff run in order for him to be there under her roof with
Right.
children that she's
But they
doing
don't seem to
foster
care
care
about none
for.
of that. So
Oh
what is
no.
one
I
supposed to
mean,
conclude when the family court systems and the CPS courts systems are trafficking kids into the homes of freaking
exactly.
pedophiles, people. These are the
Exactly.
people they're
And here-
doing. They're sending them into the homes of people that are genuinely, in Angie's case,
Yeah.
in your
I
case,
mean,
case, and
yeah,
in a lot of
here-
people's cases, this is ridiculous.
yeah. And
Why?
since
How
he
in the hell
moved
is this
in-
even happening?
Yeah, and since he moved in, our daughter started complaining that her and her sister's being sexually abused. And she went down through right
Wow.
in front of the caseworker and even told her right in front of the caseworker everything he's doing, where he's touching, what he's doing, everything. And do you think she cared? Absolutely not. She's only 21. She's
Wow.
only 21. She's from California.
Of
She
course.
barely
Of course
knows
she
the
is.
area
Of
of
course she
PA.
is. Because they needed
She
someone
doesn't
they could
even,
control.
yeah, and she don't even know PA area. Like, she struggles to get to the foster parents' home because she don't know how to get there. She struggles to get anywhere because she's not from the area. She don't know. She's only 21. She's only been working in child protective services. This is her first opportunity with, something like that. So
Wow.
this is her first rodeo. She's only been working there maybe a tops of 9 months. She don't have kids of her own. Then she's going to come at us, try
Oh,
to tell us
hell
how to raise
no.
our kids. Oh, hell no, that don't work for us because we straight out tell her, look, you don't have kids. You're 21. You only worked in a CPS agency. This is your first time for how long? And then she's like, how do you know all this information? We said, well, it doesn't matter how we know this information. We just do know this information, and it's none of your business how we know. Then she's like, oh, well, I still can do so because the courts adjudicated your children and were able to prove abuse.
What?
I said, abuse of what? Abuse of what? That's what I straight out told her. I said, prove it to me. Give me the evidence that supposedly you gave in court, because there was not one piece of
Right.
evidence given in court. And I said, also, I want to see the due process of law papers that you had, because I have plenty of witnesses that can back up there was zero, absolutely zero due process. And she's like, well, I can see what I can do, but because I wasn't the intake caseworker, I probably won't be able to get that information for you. I said, no, just because you're not an intake caseworker, you took the case over from that caseworker. You will go get us those papers and you will give them to us. I said, we have all rights to them and you will do so. Ever since December 13, when she stepped in, we still haven't received them.
Wow.
We've still been asking, and I can ask and ask for like 3 weeks straight, a lot of times, for pictures of our girls
Mm-hmm.
till we will ever get any. Like, for instance, I've texted her. I'll tell you the last time we text her, and I could send all those messages. And this will just tell you how good she is even to respond to messages. So the last time I texted her was last Monday. And I've asked her for the papers again for the due process of law that was done.
Mm-hmm.
I said, we've been waiting on these since December 13th. I said, you are still refusing to give them. So now what is your response? Do you not have them? You know why you wouldn't have them? Because you did none. But you need to give me that paperwork. If you're going to say you can adjudicate my girls out of their own jurisdictional state and say that they have to be within 150 miles of their jurisdictional home area, which in your case, right now, the girls' home jurisdictional community is not 150 miles away. That's over 1,000 miles away from you currently. She
Oh,
has not
wow.
responded since. Yeah,
Oh,
because see,
um,
Florida is like 1,000 miles from where
that
they're actually
reminds me,
at.
I have not heard any response from the that FOIA request yet, Dottie. They have not responded to it.
Okay, so we'll have to find out about that.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, they're supposed to respond under Missouri Sunshine Law within 3 days. And it was 4 when I checked it and they had not responded. It still says unpublished and it's still the request is being processed.
Yeah, see, they don't want to give me the body cam footage of the night they came to take Delilah or my arrest.
I
They
have.
don't, they don't want me
I
to have
wonder if
that.
they trashed it. They could have trashed it behind your back.
Shit. I hope not. The bastards better not have.
Well, I told the
They're
judge
known for it.
in the pretrial that I wanted the body cam footage. He told the prosecuting attorney to get it for me, and I haven't seen it yet.
You
That's
need to
why I
press
was
them and
waiting
find
for
out
you.
what the hell is taking so long.
Yeah.
Yep, you need to pressure them and just keep on pressuring them.
That's the only way you're going to get it. Keep hounding their asses for it. They'll give it to you eventually out because they get sick of having to deal with you. But you just got to keep doing it. Sometimes you got to freaking keep on them to get them to do their job.
Yep,
Yeah, they
that's
just
just like
don't
what
deal
we
with
got to
me.
do with CPS.
Yeah, but I do it and from every angle possible. Email, phone, whatever you got to do, you know?
Yeah, I just got the information to the prosecuting attorney at that trial. They remember they wouldn't let me
I
even leave them a
remember,
voice
yeah.
message. I have that all recorded too. And they wouldn't even give me his voicemail.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, they said because I wasn't represented, so you know, I wasn't even privileged enough to leave him a voicemail because I didn't have somebody like representing me.
Yeah, that's such a crock of shit. I'm sorry, but it is. It's a crock of shit.
Yeah. So they won't parlay.
So what else do we got going on? Anything else within the this I think we oh, I know. I want to put up your little your press release again real quick for our viewers that haven't seen it yet, real quick. So let me or do you want to go ahead and bring that up for our viewers, Dottie?
You don't have it?
I do. I don't know where it's at. Hold on, I have to find it. It's here somewhere. Just give me a second. It's in last week's episode folder.
Yeah, if people can show up to that, that'd be really awesome because it could make a big difference with people being there for that.
This one right here is the one with the black background and the white font, or the other one?
I just played it. It was on that link at the bottom.
Oh, that one. Yeah. No, I was thinking about the flyer one, the static image one you made.
Oh, no, that's not it.
Okay. What you want to? Well, here I'll bring it back up. Then give me 1 second. We'll play it again for our viewers, just for shits and giggles. This one, right? Dottie? Oh, wait, never mind. Hold on. I don't have my screen share yet. Whoopsies. My bad.
It's
There
at
we
the end
go.
of that.
It's at the end.
Should be, yeah.
Child trafficking, which I haven't seen my kid in a year. I had her every day, and
I've practiced family law, and I know there's a lot of pain there.
well, it's not the pain, it's the crookedness of it all, that what they're doing. It was not lawful, the order. I've proved it in family court. He couldn't verify his signature on the document, don't even remember signing any affidavit for the TOR.
Right.
On the record, it was unlawful. It was, my kid was kidnapped, and they're trying to lock me up for it.
All right, let me
That's crazy. That's so true what happened to. They did traffic my kid and now they're trying to lock me up for it.
it's not your file didn't upload the first one.
Mm,
The GIF. Try it again.
okay.
It says this file does not exist.
It doesn't. That's
No,
funny. That's great.
it did to you what it did to me earlier.
That's great.
See, people were
What do
getting
you mean it doesn't
interference
exist?
all the time. There's little shit like that that doesn't make no sense.
What do you mean it doesn't exist?
Well, I mean, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, it looks like
You
it was
know.
partially uploaded and then the network disconnected, and it's saying network disconnected and has everything in red. It says click to retry, but it won't let me retry. So I can only conclude that it didn't upload on your end all the way. Try it again.
I did.
You did? It's not going in the chat.
I said it went.
Try it again because it's not the one that you did do
Oh.
already. It didn't show up. It's not letting me download it or open it.
I guess I'm not gonna worry about it because it
All
doesn't.
right. Well, then we'll just go to this real quick. All right, here we go.
That's the press release that you're asking for.
You want to read it for our viewers? I did it last time.
No, I'm okay.
No, go for it.
I don't want to read it. I can barely see it.
You don't want to read it? All right, I'll read it.
I can't even see it.
All right. Well, I'm sharing my screen.
I know it's small.
Is it?
Yeah.
How about now?
Go ahead.
All right. Missouri residents and News for Us World will host a public press conference in Clayton, Missouri on Tuesday, August 2nd to discuss the horrific abuse perpetrated by court professionals, psychologists, guardian ad litems, child protective services, social workers, attorneys, and judges against the residents of Missouri to provide updates on those who spoke out in April of last year, to ask the questions. One, why are these gals still allowed to harm Missouri families? And GAL is an acronym for guardian ad litem, folks, for those who don't know. Why have thousands of children disappeared from foster care in Missouri? 3, where are they now? 4, what will be done to hold the responsible individuals accountable? Media outlets across Missouri have turned a blind eye to child trafficking, rape, and murder in this state. Kids for Cash is the criminal operation taking place behind Missouri's family court system and child protective services, claiming the lives of innocent children. There has not been a single report about a child among the thousands of foster children who have disappeared. A voice has not been given to a single family. We call on all parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers, cousins, reporters, journalists, podcasters, alternative news networks, advocates, children's groups, coalitions, convoys, organizations, warriors, TikTokers, YouTubers, and radio hosts to cover this live historical event. It is imperative that everyone in the community of leaders band together to end the oppression of our children for far too long. In order to make a positive impact, we need everyone's help with broadcasting this event. We cannot just rely on traditional media outlets. After reading the press release, our team strongly encourages you to sit in on the trial between Angela Freiner and Judge Nicole Zellweger. A key aspect of this trial is Nicole Zellweger's involvement in the Kids for Cash operation during Angela's custody case. It is inevitable that she will take the stand. On the record and before jury, Angela will address her involvement in the trafficking of her daughter, Delilah. It is also possible that your presence at the trial may have a tremendous impact on the verdict and Angela's fate. We must push back in every city across America.
Yeah, exactly.
So any last words on that? I think we'll wrap it up here. We got about a good solid hour and 3 minutes. We were planning on having a guest on, but they were unable to make it. We'll have them next week. She goes by Luba. I'm afraid to pronounce her real name because I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. So I'm just going to refer to her as Luba. But she's going to be interviewed next week, and she has a horrific story to tell about her daughter being taken as well.
Her daughter was taken by the courts.
Yeah, but I think she's out of. I'm not sure where she's located out of, but yeah, I've seen some of the video footage, and she did a podcast last week. So, is the one that Jen was gonna that Jen invited on.
You don't know where she's from?
I don't. I'll send. I'm not entirely sure exactly where she's from yet. I just know she's trying to tell her story. She might even be from another country. I think she's international, possibly.
Yeah,
but I don't know for sure.
This,
So
it's just
this
not.
next upcoming interview is going to be from the video footage. It looks like it may be overseas. So this next guest should be able to confirm for our viewers that this is also going on, not just here in the States, but overseas as well.
Yeah,
And that
this is
ties in with
definitely
the
global.
AFCC being an international organization too, if you think about it.
Yeah, because it's global. Like this is a part of the bigger agenda that's going on. They steal the kids, disassociate everybody, change the history, keep you a slave, normal stuff.
Right. And so I'm just gonna briefly show for our viewers just image of what our next interviewee looks like briefly, so they have an idea who they're looking forward to view for next week's show. And here we go. Let me share my screen. This is Luba. This is a screenshot I took from one of the YouTube interviews she did. I think it was the 8th, I believe. So we have her coming up next week, and she'll be telling her story with us. So, and then
It looks like she could be Ukraine.
possibly, I'm not entirely sure. I know she's got. I know. Yeah, I think so. I think that's possibly the case. I'm not entirely sure, but I know. I think she's from Russian descent, I believe, but I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that.
Dan's pretty good at telling just by faces. He's here. I should ask him what he thinks of her face. Where he thinks
Okay.
she'd be at.
What does he think?
He's looking here.
Okay.
Where do you think she's from? Pretty good at telling. What do you think by looking at her face? Where do you think she's from?
How many
Ukraine?
kids did she have, or does she have? I mean,
Just her daughter.
just the
He
one.
thinks
One.
thinks Ukraine too.
Yeah, I mean, probably very possibly. We'll have to find. We'll find out next week when we have her on for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Looking forward to hearing her story. I've seen well, let me just play a brief video clip that was shared with Jen on her Facebook that I've pulled from Facebook, so we can let me bring it up real quick first before because I got to grab it. It's in a folder. Right. Okay. Oh, shit. Hold on, you guys. There we go. All right, so this is about a 2-minute clip, but it's from her Facebook. She posted the other day to Jen's timeline, but I think it's relevant. It'll give people a little bit of understanding on what's going on here. Real quick, the first part I think is in not English in English, but the last half is in English.
You suffering. Маленькая моя.
Мам, ну ладно, я, наверное, позвоню тебе в другой день. Мне слишком плохо.
You don't feel very well.
No.
Can I speak to staff, please, Elena? Because, it is unacceptable. Hello?
You don't have to speak.
Hello? Hello?
Mama,
Эля.
can we wait till Tuesday because I don't feel very well?
Маленькая моя. Эля. You don't feel very well every time you phone me. I just don't know what's going on. Эля.
Listen, shall we speak on Tuesday?
You don't feel very well. You cannot even cannot even speak.
Yes, that's right.
What's happening? Tell me, please. How you've been yesterday?
Yesterday I was better than today.
Why you did not go on your internet? I noticed you haven't been on your page for a couple of days. Are you not well or what?
Yes, I'm not well at the moment.
Hmm? What she saying, Ella?
Они говорят, ты не просила интернет.
Oh, you did not ask for internet. But why you not feeling well? Why you so unwell? And what they doing about this? Shall I phone 999, Ella? Shall I phone 999? Huh? Why you will end a phone call when my daughter is not well?
Say goodbye, Ella. Say goodbye. Bye.
Ella.
That's who we're going to be interviewing next week, folks. So be sure to tune in. We will keep you apprised as things develop, but we're going to be interviewing her and probably have something else going on, maybe a roundtable or another guest as well on top of that. So, oh yes, that's right. I believe Jacqueline Perkins wanted to share her speech next week. So I think we'll do that as long with Luba's interview. So that's what we got to look forward to. Any last words, you guys? Angie, Liz.
I don't have
Nope,
anything.
just August 2nd.
All right, yeah, be there. Be square. Make sure to show up and we need court watchers at the August 2nd trial of Angela Freiner in Clayton County, Missouri.
I'd love to be there. I wish I could.
I know,
Angie,
we know.
Angie, I'll be praying for you on that day.
All right.
All right, everybody. It's been a great show, and we will see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe to all our channels and pages, and follow all our pages, as well as our other podcasts we got going on. We have News for Us World Fringe Division on Wednesdays, Tips, Techniques, and Survival Traits on Fridays, and Sacred Lavisa on Saturdays. Angie, any word when we're going to be doing the box podcast yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll keep you apprised. We'll keep our viewers apprised when that gets close. Until then, have a great night, everybody. But don't forget to follow the box podcast page as well, and help us get that going so we can have a good solid start when we do that first episode. Because that's going to be mostly for what, Dottie? Tell our viewers what you created that podcast for, basically, just briefly. Dottie, you there?
Angie.
Angela. Earth to Angie. I hope she's not having a computer
Sorry,
issue.
no, I'm having problems with my dogs.
Oh, go ahead and tell our viewers real quick what why you created the box podcast and what it's for.
It is basically it's for all these, the women that have been involved in this to get together and just take some time to basically heal. And the thing is that I want to meditate with these women about freeing our children, because I believe that we are powerful enough to be able to help free them with our meditation, just by healing and helping change, transmute the energy.
Right. I think that's a great idea.
So that's basically what that's going to be about.
That's great. We can't wait till you guys decide to air that, because that's going to be a good show. And so whenever we do air that, we'll have the 3 shows that I'm doing. Wednesdays, Fringe Division podcast, and then Fridays, Tips, Techniques, and then Sundays, Sacred Lavisa. And then the other days of the week, she will be doing that. Is that correct? That's the plan, right?
Right. Well, I'm actually looking for women to join. So that's part of the holdup.
Okay. Gotcha. So you hear that, ladies? We need y'all to jump on and help be part of this bandwagon for that podcast, because that's going to be your guys' little forum that for you to talk amongst yourselves and heal. And I think that's a great idea. So yeah, follow the page and reach out to Angie.
Yeah.
Where can they reach you, Dottie?
On Facebook.
Okay.
I think the box has a messaging.
Okay,
thing on it. They
perfect.
can just message through that.
Perfect. That'll work. Awesome. All right. Thank you guys for jumping on. It's been a great show, and we'll be back next week. Have a great night.
Steven.
Yeah.
Are you busy? After
I'm
the
just,
project?
I'm just about to end the show right now.
Okay.
Give me a minute. All right.
Okay. Sounds good, buddy.
I'll touch base with you after the show.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Steven.